Alright guys, let's get started. So this is my natural curl, and it's gotten curlier since I've decreased my use of heat. I used to either straighten it and curl it, or use a curling iron it like once a week at least, if not multiple times a week. So now that I've stopped doing that, my frizz has decreased because I'm no longer damaging the cuticles to my hair. I also stopped washing it every day. I think a lot of people do that. I wash my hair like once a week at this point. That was a very gradual over time thing, and I can talk more about that if you want to know. And then I have a little bit of spray and conditioner, but I've been letting my hair air dry instead of blow drying it. It's absolutely possible to get some volume with bendy rollers like this, and I'm really excited to show you how we get started. I have two different sizes. So since I want a softer wave, I would suggest a larger barrel. Like if you have a curling iron in multiple sets, the smaller the barrel, the smaller and tighter, more crazy the curl. The wider the barrel, the more soft and subtle you do it. I'm also going to show you how I do my bangs without heat because, for one, I think that these last better and they don't damage my hair, so I don't have as many of the frizz that I would get living in a humid state like Texas, especially this close to Houston. So if you want to know more, just keep on watching. Depending on how long you want to let your hair air dry is going to depend on how much time you have. So if you leave it out of the shower, this is about 80% dry, which is a little bit too dry for me, but around 75% is usually good. And I plan on, after this, watching a television show, coming back and showing you what happens. So I have a little bit of water here in a cute little container. This is like $3 from Target. Awesome. And a comb with a rat tail end. Where you part your hair and what you do with it is really going to affect how it looks afterwards. So we take more time now than with a curling iron because it's harder to fuss with after. I have a very large Velcro roller to use for my bangs. And like I said, I have two different size rods. I like my hair to be parted in the center because over time I got thin hair on one side, specifically from having my hair parted to the same side for like years and years and years. Ooh, look at those bangs! Anyways, we're going to put it on the flat part of our head and brush it back because I like that midi part, like where it's only a short part, and keep pulling it back until you get it where you like it. If you generally curl your hair, or if you never have before, this is the same. You want to take a 1-inch section. If your hair is thinner or thicker, use a thinner section. If your hair is thinner, you can use a wider section. And this is the part of the curl that you want to go back away from your head to add some volume. So it's either less teasing or less product or less curling iron later. Pull it forward instead of letting it fall directly back. And the best way to make sure there's no frizz is to add some kind of oil and the largest barrel you have. So I like argan oil, which is pretty light, Moroccan, whatever you want. Today's first curl, I'm going to wrap it directly this way and then back. And then you keep going. Once it's at your scalp, just bend the roller one side in and then the other. If you wrap your end in right underneath the rest of the hair, it's going to make sure that that piece of the curl doesn't fall out. If you like a messier tousled look, leave a little, like about an inch of that out, and then it won't be such a perfect curl. I hope that makes sense, just like you would with a curling iron. Hope you guys can see this around. So I'm only going to put in 2 more rollers, or possibly 1, depending on what it is. I do it directly back from where we just started. Pull the hair here, open it, and then you have 2 sections for your curls. So these 2 brushes are really helpful to smooth and tame your curls if you don't want to, use a lot of product later. When you take this section, pull it back, brush through it and upwards, all the way up. The upwards motion is going to create that blowout effect you would have, or blow dry. Again, the same thing. You want to wrap it underneath the rest of the hair and then down. You probably can't see that portion, but I swear that's what I'm doing. And then as you can see, it's much higher. And then roll it here and roll it there. So you have 2 curls. We have a third one on the bottom. So I have a little bobby pin here and use the bumpy side against the scalp. I'm going to use a smaller bendy roller this time and go up. Make sure I have any little stragglers that can fit. Roll it down and away, and then turn the whole roller towards the scalp. Bend it on top. Roll this And this is where you would put the bobby pin right here along the flush side to hold it in place. There you have that. It'll make sure it absolutely stays because it's flush with the roller. And then bend that. There you go. This piece I might potentially have to straighten later, but I try to use no heat if possible. I'll just put this back underneath the roll. Hopefully it'll have a nice swoop to it later. If you only have these rollers and you use large curls, you can take the one curl on here and split it into multiples if you want to have that look. All of these are still going away from my face. Another large section here. Brush it upwards for smoothness on top as well. Part of me is sad to like brush away my curls. And then the bendy roller behind. So here's my hair, here's the roller. I'm going to go back, and instead of layering it on top of itself, I want it to be next to each other. Then I turn the whole rod towards my forehead, like towards where the camera is. That way it makes it really flush against my scalp. I bend the top one first, making sure that this is still taut and that I have that end. And you can always bend it the other way and make like an S motion. I like this best though. And make it as tight as you feel fit. And if it's not wet enough and you don't think it's going to hold that curl, get your fingers wet, dampen the ends, and you're all good. Or if you have a spray bottle. I'm trying to get rid of plastic in my house, so I don't have any spray bottles right now. Because even the hose part that's inside a glass container is still plastic. So yeah, trying to figure out alternative stuff for a more environmentally friendly life. So as you can see, I'm just dampening my hair. And it's got really nice curls today, but I just kind of wanted to do something different. Normally I just like my natural curl. Again, a small bendy roller. Hold it behind the hair. And I switch. I like to hold the rod with my left hand and wrap with my right hand across this way. Oops, that didn't quite do what I wanted to. Try again. It's hard to look into the camera and do this. Turn the whole rod close towards your scalp. And then fold the rod and fold it again. Don't I look super awesome? So I will go and let this air dry. I'll be back. Bye. Hey, as you can see, I've already taken out the Velcro one. This is what they look like when they're done. You can put some product in them if you want them to be perfect, or like straighten them. Alright, I'm going to start from the bottom, so I'm going to take the very last one, just unravel it, and roll it the way it went up, and pull it out. Just so you guys know, putting in the rollers initially only took 8 minutes, and I watched one episode of Penny Dreadful. That's my new show of choice. I'm not sure if I like it, but we shall see. Oh, the bobby pin, take it out. And then there's a little bit of dampness towards the root. If you find that you want it even drier, you should leave it in longer. The ones at the back tend to take a little bit longer as far as drying. So the ones on the side of my face were actually dry, like, I don't know, like 20-30 minutes ago. But the ones on the back and the crown of my head take longer. So, whew. And there you have it. Alright. So now, just like what you would with any, after you curl, you know, like with a curling iron, you would want to fuss with them, use some product, and kind of make it the way you want it. So I'm going to show you what I use. You want to create a blending here, I guess, kind of like you would blend like eyeshadow. And then on the other side, just kind of rake your fingers through and then pull the bangs where you want them. This will be awesome for smoothing. It's just an argan oil from Sally's Beauty Supply. The curls on this side, see how pretty those are? They're really nice, soft ringlets. So I like to go on top and then recurl it towards the back. And now we have multiple curls. You can make them as many as you want. And then for more volume up here, you can use a wax powder or I like to use baby shampoo, Johnson & Johnson's, just simple, easy, because it's cheap and it's more natural. Same thing on the other side, or you can just rake your fingers through it and fuss with it till you see you like it. I don't think I gave like a good view of what it looks like, so this is kind of what it looks like. So I'm going to keep playing with it as I sit and I watch TV. I twirl my hair and I play with it and I don't know, fuss with it. And it's just a much softer curl than my natural kind of curl. And I can finesse with it and kind of fudge with it. Or I could just leave it as is because it's still pretty, but I'm something of a weirdo perfectionist and can kind of get a little bit carried away. So I hope you found this video informative. I know it was a little more mellow. I feel like on each video I'm like super hyper or super mellow. I'm just chilling and like having a Netflix binge day. Really loving the show Penny Dreadful. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please give this a thumbs up. Share with your friends. I want to keep making those videos as, you know, I continue my health journey. And I hope that you enjoy this. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that that covers it all. Comments on below if you'd like to see more tutorials like this, or if you want to see a tighter curl, more like Demi Lovato messy hair or something like that. See you guys soon.